Okay, hey, I meant to do this at school and I completely forgot. So you're getting dining room table, my hair's in a bun, and I'm going to use this clipboard and I hope that you can see. I was going to use my whiteboard, but it's fine. It's just you guys. This better not go anywhere else. So with that being said, let me start by saying that none of these ideas did I really make up. I probably got them all from some sort of training or someone else or something, because that's what teaching is you just steal things from other people. So let the stealing continue. Um, Okay, I'm gonna run through a lot of things and you can like pause and rewatch this and go back if you need to. But one of the things I think I said in a text message is if I could go back, I would really hit the parts of speech from the get-go. I know that we hang the same anchor chart as first grade, but somehow they still think they don't know what a pronoun is or the subject of a sentence. And then I would make sure that they can write a complete sentence. And I do all the lessons that have to do with simple, compound, complex. Once they have that down, I would move into paragraph writing. And that's what I should have done different. This is embarrassing to even say out loud. But I would go look at the plans in quarter 4, week 27, because I should have started earlier with that whole paragraph. They use the hamburger with that lady that we've been talking about who sells that bundle. The cheeseburger's fine if you want to use something else, whatever. But I really think our kids got the visual of the cheeseburger. And I'll show you how I would tie that in later. And then I would have them show them how that paragraph writing flows into an expository. It's just an introduction to hamburgers and a conclusion, basically. So anyways, yeah, go look at those lessons. I'm going to run through, I guess, like what I would do. It would take a week or something, but this would be the order and kind of how I would teach an expository paper, that modeling over and over thing. And then I flip-flopped back and forth a few times on which graphic organizer, because I got kind of interested in those thinking maps or whatever, another training I've never been to, but I just steal from people. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you both and you can choose which one you think you like better, and I would just go with that. But to start, let's pretend that the kids have this prompt on a fancy star paper. I couldn't find this one. They wanted me to buy it and I refused. So the prompt would be, write about your favorite place to spend time. Explain why you enjoy spending time there. Okay, so the two verbs in this prompt would be they are going to write, and in their writing, they are going to explain. So I would have them make sure they understand what it is that the prompt is asking them to do, because that's the biggest mistake, is you get a 0 if you don't address the prompt. Okay, so the topic that they're writing about is their favorite place, okay? Their favorite place to spend time is the prompt, and then they need to make sure that they're explaining why they enjoy spending time there. So something I'm going to do different, it seems silly, but it's just like one step further that I think is going to make a big difference this year, is having them, they're basically writing a thesis statement directly after reading the prompt, and they're going to use that to brainstorm with. And so they're just going to essentially rewrite the prompt, but answer it. One cool thing I learned this summer is that all 4th grade prompts have always been open, which means it's some sort of prompt that has the kids first choose something, a friend, a special place, a sport, a memory. They have to first choose one and then write about it. Versus 7th grade, they're all closed, meaning it's things like write about the importance of friendship, write about the importance of honesty. And it's just everyone's the same. But I thought that was interesting. I never even realized that the kids always have to choose one. So at this point, they would have to think about which one. One other area you can choose. I used to have the kids write as many places as they could think of, and some kids could get nothing and some would write an entire notebook paper. The training I went to this summer recommended honestly writing 3 and then having them think really hard about which one they knew the most about. So let's pretend I'm a student and I'm going to write my top 3. So maybe it's grandma's, the mall, or the soccer field. Okay, and so then I'm thinking about how much do I know about these? Well, I only go to grandma's like once a year, so maybe not that one. And because I already have this done somewhere, I'm going to choose the mall. And let's just say soccer field. It's my first year playing soccer, so I don't really have that many memories. I'm going to choose the mall. Okay, so now the kids have picked to their open prompt what their favorite place is. So on the next page, I would have that whole thing happen on the prompt, like the star looking paper. Then, okay, bear with me. I'm going to show you what I learned this summer because I kind of combined it with what I did last year. It's not that different, but I shared both of them with you. Last year, I used this one. It's still Pick, List, Choose. It came from Empowering Writers. I just put it on a graphic organizer thing. This is the same one, except for it has you write with a sentence stem, that whole like reframing the prompt. And then it comes up with better ideas, and I'm going to explain those in just a second. If this overwhelms you, then you can just go back to the original. Doesn't really matter, except for this part's kind of important. I would have them use a regular pencil because I think especially our web kiddos needed the color coding at the beginning, and I'm going to show you how I did that. But for the prompt, I picked my favorite place. So prompt plus sentence stem. It was asking me why it was my favorite. Therefore, my sentence stem is because. So my favorite place is the mall because. My favorite place is the mall because. Okay. Now, everything that I write under my reasons needs to make sense with this sentence stem. I am not just listing random words. We're going to be really effective with our brainstorming as opposed to just thinking as long as they fill up their paper with ideas. That's what I used to think, and it's no good. So they need to be really strong reasons why, and they need to answer this sentence stem. So if the kid writes, my favorite place is the mall because they have cool stores, they have yummy food, lots of fun, you can go to the movies because there is Dave & Buster's. Obviously, I'm thinking of Stonebridge or Briar or whatever. I'm going to put some bad examples on here too. Okay, this is random. So here they have listed their ideas. They have cool stores, they have yummy food, lots of fun. You can go to the movies. There's Dave & Buster's, Friends. They have Apple Store, I love clothes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to omit ideas. The reason why you would omit something is if it does not fit the prompt or it's off topic. I don't think I did any examples about that, but that if it's off topic, then they would cross it out. So then you would go through and read each one. My favorite place is to go to the mall because they have cool stores. That makes sense. My favorite place is the mall because they have yummy food. My favorite place is the mall because lots of fun. That doesn't make sense. So I would cross it out. We cross it out by putting an actual line through it. My favorite place is the mall because you can go to the movies. My favorite place is the mall because there's Dave & Buster's. My favorite place is the mall because Friends. I could maybe reword that to say because you can go with friends, but I can't just keep Friends the way it is. Because you can go with friends, okay? Because they have Apple. I love going to the mall because I love clothes. Okay, that's fine. The next thing you can do is combine ideas. So if you wrote some that maybe could go together, that could support each other, or maybe are just similar, you can combine those. So maybe I would combine movies and Dave & Buster's. Those are both kind of like entertainment pieces, so you can bracket them. I could maybe combine cool stores. Cool stores could almost go with clothes and Apple, right? And then yummy food, and you can go with Friends. Okay, those are all different, so I could keep them. I don't have any that are overlapping, and I've combined the ones that are similar. The next one is toss. you might have 4 pretty good ideas, but we only have 26 lines, so that's not going to work. So they kind of go through the same process. Which ones do you have the most to write about? And then you may need to toss them. Maybe you could throw them into the conclusion or fit them in somewhere else, or maybe you just don't use them and that's okay. So I'm afraid I would just end up listing my friends here. So I'm going to put a T out to the side to let you know that I've tossed that idea. If this is a higher student, some kids can write 3 really good main ideas, but honestly, 2 main idea paragraphs is fine. So if you just wanted to do the stores and the entertainment, they could pick that and toss the food, okay? Or if they're good, they could have 1 paragraph about the yummy food court, 1 paragraph about the stores, and 1 paragraph about entertainment, okay? We're gonna pretend like we're, I don't know, whichever one you want. We can do a higher kid and keep that one. So the next one would be to organize, okay? On the other one, that's just called choosing your main ideas. It's the same thing. So then you would choose them, and those are going to be, you can have them write complete sentences at this point or just list them, but so far we've come up with, my favorite place is the mall because of the cool stores. So we organize, you could have them rewrite it. I'm not for the sake of this right now. I'm putting literally stores, food, entertainment, okay? So now I know what my 3 paragraphs are going to be about. Brainstorming, check. The next thing is going to be your graphic organizer. I've used 2 over the years. My campus now does the pillar, whatever. You can do the pillar. Last year I did this one, I sent you both. This one made sense just because I felt like the paragraphs went in order, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, it's an introduction. You can remake these or have them cross out a box if they're only doing 2, whatever works for you. But this is kind of what I was showing you, the visual I would give the kids once they can write a paragraph, that this is a hamburger. This is an opening sentence or topic sentence. You're including 3 details that support that topic sentence, and you still need to wrap it up with a closing sentence. If I was going to use this one again, I'd probably add a box and make them write a closing sentence that transitions into the next cheeseburger or paragraph or whatever. And then, yes, so you can choose whichever one of these you want to write. The next thing I would do after that, I'm just going to use the pillar for right now, but I gave my kids the main idea sentence starters out of Empowering Writers. I don't know that I have that online. I would just copy it out of the book all the time. And that's on campus somewhere. And so the next thing I would have them do, a lot of times it's write the intro and the thesis. So by now, you've probably spent some time. I would just have lessons where all we did was write juicy, good hooks. I would have other lessons where we added in the thesis statement. I would just give a bunch of prompts and all they would do is write an introduction. So they should have an idea of what an introduction is by now. But you would have them fill in the lead and the thesis statement. So the lead could be anything. I learned a cool one called the funnel, where you list a bunch of places, but then you end up with the one that you like. So you can even use your other ideas. I love going to grandma's and I always have fun at the soccer fields, but where you'll mostly find me is at the mall or something like that. And then your thesis statement. This one, I used to have the kids write in what their main ideas were. So it was literally a script. My favorite place to spend time is the mall because blank, blank, and blank. And they would have to list because I can't get enough shopping. I love the entertainment there. And you can even grab a yummy dinner while you're at it or something like that. And it mentions all 3. I learned this summer that they don't have to say that as long as they say what their favorite place is. That counts as a thesis. So either way is fine. But I'm going to do it my old way just because I feel like the color coding helped with my kids at Webb. So I would say this isn't going to be that creative, but my favorite place is the mall because, so all I did was copy the prompt and the sentence stem from the other page. And then I'm going to add in 3 colors. So I'm going to add in green because you can shop at different stores is green. And then I'm going to choose red. They have fun, entertainment. That's going to be red. And I think this blue works. And you can even grab a tasty bite or something. Okay, and I did not spell tasty right. Okay, and then that one's gonna be blue. So let me show you. In my introduction, I have main idea 1 in green because you can shop at the different stores. In red, they have fun entertainment, and you can barely see it that it's blue, and you can grab a tasty bite. So that transitions to main idea 1 is gonna be all about stores. Main idea 2 in red is going to be all about entertainment, and the blue paragraph needs to be all about the food. So at this point, early in the year, I would even have them use colored pencils to show, but you can wean them off that whenever they're ready or if they're ready or whatever. They do get colored pencils on Star, so if you need them to plan that way, it's fine. So back to, then I would have them write the main idea sentence. So main idea 1 needs a topic sentence. At this point, if you've done the cheeseburger lesson, they should already know what that is. And so they would write something, I am always amazed by all the stores in Stonebriar. Okay, and then underneath that green main idea, I would need to come up with some details or examples that support stores. I can list literally my favorite kinds of stores. This is where you want them to have examples or facts. They can talk about stores that have changed out, whatever. So maybe they list here, maybe they're a fan of Nike, maybe they're a fan of, and then they share about that one time they had a coupon to, I don't know, Dick's Sporting Goods, and maybe they got something cool. It is okay to share personal things as long as they don't start writing a narrative. It's actually good to do that, to really go deeper, not linear. I feel like I used to always be like, okay, write a sentence about Nike, write a sentence about Adidas, write a sentence about Dick's, write a sentence about another store in the mall, candy place. But then they didn't really tie together. It's better if they go deep and they write about maybe like 1 or 2 stores, but they give an example of like a really good experience they had there, or they share like advice, like make sure you go there on Thursdays because they always put out their new stuff or something like that. Like the deeper they go, that's where you start getting 3s and 4s. I feel like a lot of my kids, as long as they were writing on topic, I thought we were good, but some of them scored lower than I thought, and I think that's why. Okay, so you can give advice or caution. You can warn. Caution is another strategy. You can like warn people, like, beware though, sometimes you may get stuck in the candy store for too long, or your belly might hurt if you eat all the samples at whatever. And so you can mention those kinds of things too, but deeper, not linear. Okay, so then you would have them do the same thing. They would write a main idea sentence about entertainment. They can talk about Dave & Buster's. Again, they can share an experience or something, or explain what it is, blah, 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 give a fact. If they know anything about the movie theater or Dave & Buster's or whatever. Same thing here. And then you would have them write a conclusion. Yes. Okay, I'm looking through it all. Another thing, if you like the color coding, you can use the expositories that are already written. And I like the lesson Amazing Grandpa, or it's like Grandpa Jack and then Amazing Grandpa Jack. And if you use the 3 colored highlighters, they'll see that the bad one is like all out of order and unorganized. But then the other one, it's I think like overlapping main ideas or something, will show that everything is like where it needs to be. And that's a really good example of like what a 4 would be, like going deep instead of linear. Anyways, I feel like I'm all over the place. The other thing, if you look through stuff that I've seen, the stuff that, I don't know, is in the lesson plans or something, I did that pick, list, choose a little bit different, the one that looks like this. And so I'm hesitant to show you, but if you think it's like a way to start, you can. But I'm afraid that the difference between how I did this and how I'm going to do it this year is the jump that I needed. Like I was plateauing, and that's where I was messing up. And my kids are going to rock it because I know the difference. But I used to have my kids literally, we would do a circle map. Like they would put mall in the middle. You're going to see this all over, okay? And then they would just list everything that they could think about the mall. Sbarro, I don't know how to spell that. Dave & Buster's, movies. Dick's Sports. Like, can you tell I haven't been shopping? I can't even come up with like 10 stores. This is so sad. Apple. What are kids stores? Children's Place. Journeys, some cool shoes. Okay. And I would just have them go, and list anything that they could think of. And then this is when I would color code. Then I would have them circle things that went together. So I basically only did the combined step. And so they would like combine movies and Dave & Buster's, and that would be called entertainment. And then in another color, maybe they would combine candy with Sbarro, and that would be food. And then in their third color, what was my third color? Blue. That's going to look the exact same, but it's cool. Blue had all the different stores. And then maybe when you're done, sorry, this is why I wish I had done it in my classroom. You can see what I'm doing. So I was just circling things in colors that go together. All the green things have to do with entertainment. And this strategy kind of helps them come up with main ideas. And then see how I left, they had written friend, but I kind of left that out, and that's okay. It's okay to have somebody left out. You don't have to use all your ideas. I'm just thinking, like, I feel like this did work, especially for kids who like needed to really pull from their schema or their background knowledge, or maybe they don't have as much. Like doing this whole group a lot would help because they'd get that chance to popcorn out whatever. And then once other kids said like 5 or 6 things, they'd start thinking of ideas, and I would just put them all on the board. Hey, okay, I literally talked so long it like timed me out, and part of the video went away. But I think I was just saying that I don't know that there's necessarily anything wrong with doing it this way, especially I feel like when the kids have a harder time coming up with ideas, or if you have a group, maybe doesn't have as much background knowledge or schema, when they hear the class getting to popcorn out and people say things like five things, then they start really thinking. And it's okay at the beginning if you do it as a class and they kind of use the ideas on the board to help write theirs. That's okay at the beginning, I think. But anyways, you can take kind of both of those and mix them together. You can take none of it. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Or use the parts that make sense to you. Yeah, I don't know. That's my philosophy on writing the expository in 20 minutes. And I love you guys, and I miss you guys a lot. So I wish you luck. They're gonna be great no matter what, because you guys are great and you get excited about writing. You're good at writing. So make sure you show that. Okay, love you. Bye.